Welcome to the Signature Sip podcast, a real estate podcast with myself, John Steingraber, and my beautiful wife, Michelle Pais. Cheers to the beginning of Signature Sip. I feel like now we're back and we have a lot to give. We have a lot to offer.
Till this day, by the way, I have to say, the excitement happens the second I land the deal, not when I get paid. It's the art of the deal, landing that up.
Right, it's the chase. Not only are we going to be giving a lot of wisdom and knowledge and experiences and stories, but we're going to bring on guests.
I bartended, babe, so something that you and I have in common, even though...
Babe, you bartended for how long?
3 months?
A day or two?
It's a podcast.
So you were like eating a tosta mista in Emily's bakery.
I think I was having a pastel de nata.
Okay, pastel de nata.
And a galon.
And if you're a realtor, if you're an investor, you're going to want to subscribe to this podcast. Welcome to the Signature Sip podcast with John Steingraber and...
your lovely wife, Michelle Pais.
Today we're going to talk about how to generate leads for free as real estate agents and coming up with your 2024 lead strategy, right? Leads are everything. It's one of the things that you should be spending 80% of your time in. And if you're brand new, obviously you're going to be spending some time on your education and training. But today we're going to talk about how to get sellers and buyers for free. So you want to hit them with the first one, babe?
I love this because I actually taught this to our team not too long ago. This was a topic, so it's fresh on my mind. I mean, there's a lot of ways to obviously generate leads, pay to play or seek to serve, right? And I think right now, the use of social media is huge, creating content, just like we're doing right now. Creating content, building that brand, building that presence. And with Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and TikTok and all the different social channels, LinkedIn, it's easier than ever to be able to reach your target audience via hashtags and everything else. So I think creating content, it's something that...
What kind of content would you tell agents to create?
Well, if you're a real estate agent, it has to be obviously, you have to be known as the market leader. So I would start with narrowing down, the towns that you really want to focus in, get to know them well, the schools, the commute, the restaurants, what to do, property values, different neighborhoods, different parks, and all just as much information as you can in regards to that town. And I would start creating content and positioning yourself as a thought leader in that town, especially for real estate, right? Market updates, homes on markets, homes list days, average sales price, different neighborhoods, trends, what you're seeing in the marketplace, interview a mortgage finance person and just get up to date with the different trends and current interest rates. There's just so many things. You can interview business owners. Another great way, guys, interview business owners. Start your own podcast or your own channel where you're interviewing business owners and you're getting in front of them. They're getting to know you, and it's just a great way of just getting so involved in the community. And really, you want people to get to know you. So there's a lot of things you can do. Yes, you can spend a ton of money marketing, right? That's definitely going to get you eyeballs. But if you want to go the sweat equity route, I would just say, pound the pavement, knock on doors, canvas neighborhoods.
So social media, what somebody that's brand new, they're not comfortable yet with, putting out information. You mentioned market data, right? How many homes sold in X town? What's the difference between last month and this month? Last year, this month, where were we, right? You can get all that data right off your National Association of Realtors Research and Statistics accounts.
Yeah, or MLS.
Or off the MLS.
Absorption rates.
Right, everything. Mm-hmm. And explaining that stuff to people, I think, is going to be valuable. But having a cadence, right? I think if you're really going to take social media seriously, having a cadence. So what do I mean by that? Well, there's 3 categories that you can use. You can use education, entertainment, and inspiration, right? So using those 3 categories and saying, okay, this post, is it educational? Is it inspirational? Is it entertaining, right? And then From there, you have those 3 pillars, but then from there, you want to say, okay, what am I going to do on Mondays? And you can have these themes, right? You go live every Friday.
Market Monday.
Right, but you go live every Friday at 10 a.m. for Q&A, right? So you do that on a cadence, right? So like at Signature Realty, we have trainings that we do, and we have a cadence for our training. You can have a cadence for your social media, right? We have Money Mondays, Tech Tuesdays, Winning Wednesdays, Tactical Thursdays, Finesse Fridays, right? So have some sort of cadence that you're going to say, okay, I'm going to go live on this date at this time. I'm going to do a market Mondays, right? And do every Monday, I'm going to give an update for the last week, what happened, and tell everybody what's going on in the market in specific areas or counties or whatever it is that you want to focus on geographically.
Yeah. I understand the stage fright, talking on camera. It's uncomfortable, especially if you are
of course
perfectionist. I get it. I was there.
Or you're insecure.
Yeah, I get it.
Maybe you're just insecure about how you look or how you talk or what you know.
Right. So my advice is practice. Constantly be practicing in front of a mirror and just do it over and over and over and over until you get comfortable, because the only way of doing something good is by trying it over and over and practicing. Practice makes perfect. But you have to get yourself out there. And I remember when I started doing video, I was probably one of the very few that started doing it, and I was very uncomfortable. And it was awkward for me, and I hated public speaking. I hated it. I was the girl in the classroom that would just, hide behind everybody just not to be called on, because I just terrified of public speaking. But as time went on and you kept doing it more and you felt more comfortable with the cameras, you just kind of get better at it. But it did take a lot of practice. But I have to say, if you're not willing to be that thought leader, or just picking up your phone and just being able to speak to your audience, you're gonna be left behind, because other people are doing that. And people that are on social media, who are buyers, right? Who's on social media right now? Mostly buyers in their 30s, 40s. They're all using social media. They're going to automatically attract to somebody that they find that is an agent, that is local, that is considered to be a market expert. They're gonna start following them, and guess what? When time comes around to buy or to sell a home, they're gonna automatically think of them, because they're constantly in their face. So I would say creating content is huge, and it's free to do. Your phone, all it takes is some time. But there's other ways of getting leads. So third-party sites. I know with our brokerage, we provide, how many leads do you provide to the agents on a monthly basis?
Over 2,000.
That's a lot. So over 2,000, both buyer and seller leads. So I would say also align yourself with the brokerage or with a team that is going to feed you in the beginning, especially in the beginning when you have nothing going on.
Let's categorize it, right? So we have social media and content, right? Creating a cadence around that. Second is referral websites. So we'll talk about that. And then third is, I would say, broker or team provided leads.
That's right.
Right? So like our broker platforms, as an agent, you can't just do that. If their broker doesn't have OpCity or Zillow Flex, they don't have that opportunity. You can't sign up for that on your own. So go to your broker if you have a brokerage and ask them, do you have any broker lead sources for me as an agent? Typically they do, or hopefully they do, and it's on a referral basis. So you don't have to spend any money up front. They're free. And then on the back end, you're going to pay a referral fee, right, to the brokerage, right, or to the platform that's, giving you that lead, or both. But the good thing is, with that experience of those transactions comes other activity, right? If you get a referral for a buyer and they need to list their home for sale, boom, now you got a listing. And now you're doing an open house. Now you have buyers coming through, you have neighbors coming through, you get another listing, right? Somebody sees your for sale sign, you get another listing, right? People come to your open house, you have buyers now that you're working with that you didn't have to pay for, right? And that's another lead source. So first, ask your broker for any lead sources, okay? At Signature, we do. So if your broker doesn't provide them and you're in New Jersey and you want to get leads, well, give us a call or go to exploresignature.com.
But there's so many other things.
Third is the referral website. So what are some of the referral websites that you recommend, and give some qualifiers to them, right? Like they're not all for everybody.
Realtor.com has a couple. Zillow Flex, another one. But you have to have a track record. So
No, those aren't the ones that I'm talking about.
So which ones are you
Babe, those are
referring
for
to?
teams.
Right. So
You can't just apply to those.
Right, Home
Those you
Light.
have to be invited to.
Yeah, you have Home Light, you have
there you go.
Home Light, Fast Expert, Referral Exchange. You have all these different third-party sites. All you have to do is Google seller leads or sell my home, and you'll find them, right? I mean, there's a ton of these services, and I get bombarded with solicitors offering me, leads for 20, 30, 40%, whatever it is. So I would just do the third-party sites. You're not gonna qualify for all of them, but that's one avenue that you can take. UpNest, another one, to just try to get seller leads, buyer leads as well. You know what? Pick up the phone and call. I gotta say, go grassroots. Everyone is just so quick to just, find something that's going for that instant gratification. They're just so quick to just not put in the work. Like, how do I go the easy way? What do I need to do? Like, there's nothing that's going to be better than the grassroots. Till this day, prospecting, circle prospecting, picking up the phone and calling people. Call that expired listing. Call that for sale by owner. Call that past client, your sphere, your friends, your family. Hey, I'm in real estate. Do you know of anyone that's looking to buy or sell? Technology cannot replace the human element. It goes a long way when you actually reach out to people. People want to hear your voice. I can tell you that when my team members go on listings, and I make it a point to call the homeowners and thank them for allowing us the opportunity to represent them in the sale. That goes a long way. People aren't doing that anymore. They're just, they're also technology driven and everything else. And I just feel like, you have to take the time. People want to know that you care about them. Sending them a thank you card, someone's birthday, anniversary, whatever it is. That's something that you can spend the entire day. For those of you that, and I get this question all the time, what do I do? It's my first day or my first month or my first year. I'm not busy in real estate. There is no such thing as not being in real estate. If you're not busy working in the business, then you need to be working on the business. And the best way, if you're getting started, or even if you're seasoned and you don't spend much money, just pick up the phone and call. Leverage a sale in the neighborhood. Leverage your team or somebody in the brokerage, a sale that's happened on the street. Call the neighbors. Talk to them. Have conversations with them. You just never know what things are going to lead to. That's something that shouldn't be overlooked, just the power of prospecting, right? Align yourself with other professionals that could be a good referral source for you. Attorneys, right? Mortgage brokers, attorneys.
Architects, contractors, landscapers,
Designers.
Cleaning companies.
I mean, there's so many people. And throughout the years, they will give you business. Your housekeeper will give you business because they're in other people's houses and they're the first to know if their home is going on the market, right? So like, I've gotten referrals from housekeepers that they knew that somebody was selling, and like, call my client, Michelle. So, just always be very loud and proud of what you do and let everybody know that you are an agent. What you don't want to do is put yourself out there and not ask for business. I've seen people do that. They try to provide all this value and this and that, but they don't ask for business. So ask for business. Don't be shy about that. Leveraging other open houses, sitting open houses, doing open houses for neighbors. Guys, when you're sitting open houses, yes, you're trying to obviously sit there and trying to, generate a sale for that house, but that doesn't always happen. People don't always walk to an open house and end up buying that house. But you know what? If you do a really good job and you're trying to do an open house for the neighbors, maybe an hour or 2 hours before the open house, meet neighbors, talk to neighbors. I mean, there's so much, sitting at a bar, talking to the bartender. Everyone talks to the bartender. You're at a salon, you're getting your hair done. People love to talk at salons. Hey, do you know of anybody, any of your clients, coming in here that they have a home that they're thinking of selling? Refer me. I mean, there's just so many ways that you can do to just really try to generate opportunities. You have to be, resourceful, and they're free. Another great thing's attending events, right? You had NJRESN. Love that event. How many opportunities do you create in that room alone? NJRESN. It's a room full of investors looking to find deals, or they have deals and looking to, find agents to represent them. I mean, that's, networking events, such another great source. Align yourself with different Facebook groups. How many times have we heard people on Facebook groups, hey, I'm thinking about selling my house, is anyone out there? All right, that's a potential seller. Reach out to them.
So you mentioned the neighbors open house. I think that's, we kind of glossed over that. I think a lot of people, first, open houses in general, right? That's a free lead source. Make relationships with the listing agents in your office. If you're a real estate agent and you're in a big listing office like ours, you want to make relationships and do any open house training that your brokerage has. Let those listing agents know that you're familiar with the open house training, you did it, and you are ready to sit open houses, right? Provide them with what you're going to do. Along the way, when you are getting an open house and you land one, make sure that you take it very seriously. One of the things is using the open house to talk to all the neighbors, right? We do a neighbor's first look, right? Where 1 hour ahead of your public open house, you let the neighbors come in and see the house, and you have a little food, some beverages, things like that. That's going to keep them there. And then you open up for the public open house. When people see other people at an open house, it creates urgency. So it's good. And then other sellers see how many people you have at the open house, and then they want to hire you to be their real estate agent to sell their home. Obviously, the neighbors all have houses, right? So those are all potential listing opportunities. And at your open house, we've always said, ask people if they have a home to sell. When you're meeting them, ask them if they have a house to sell. So these open houses, it's not just doing open houses, it's how you do these open houses, right?
No, I am smiling right now.
I know why you're smiling.
Do you guys know why I'm smiling right now? Okay, why do you think I'm smiling right now?
Because you mentioned that.
I said this, and you're actually great. I gotta tell you, I didn't think you were listening to me, and you were listening to me. We did this at a training. Wow, you're listening. That's why I'm smiling. I'm like, ah, he does listen to me. He doesn't just, tune me out. Or, that's great. Yes.
So open houses, I think, are good.
I love open houses.
I think what some people do is they underestimate open houses. They're like, oh, open houses, they sit one, nobody comes. You also have to pick the right property to do an open house. Obviously, the newer the listing, the better, if it's priced accurately, or if there was a price reduction, or if it's a back on market listing. If it's a stale listing sitting on the market 90 days, there's no price reduction. Why are we sitting in open house on this house? It didn't sell. There's no activity. There's nothing really happening, right? There's not going to be that many prospects that come to this open house.
Not as many, no.
Right? So the objective should be to identify the proper open houses and then go through your open house checklist and do it right. And then use that as your call to action to meet all the neighbors, to call all the neighbors in the neighborhood, and to also identify potential sellers in that neighborhood, right? But by using that open house, right? Imagine if a neighbor called us here, hey, by the way, are you Michelle Pais? Yeah. Are you the owner of blah, blah, blah in, this town? Yes. I'm calling because I'm doing an open house down the street, and I just want to let you know that we're going to have a lot of leftover buyers for this house because we have a lot of people already RSVP'd that are coming out, and I'm just trying to get ahead of this and see if there's any other neighbors in the area that are interested in selling their home, right? And they're like, oh, no, I'm not interested now. Okay, great. So were you planning on leaving, in the next few years? No, I have no plans on leaving. Okay, cool. No problem. Do you mind if I just keep in touch with you? And, would you like any information on market, on what's going on in the market, and letting you know what this particular home sold for that I'm having an open house for? Great. Let me get your email, and then you add them to your CRM, right? And that's another, database contact that you have. That's simple. I think people don't use the open house. We could give you guys a list of everything: open houses, referral sites, sphere of influence, social media content, broker referral websites, networking events, cold calling, vendors, hand out your business card to every single person that you meet, right? Wear gear that says real estate or your brokerage. Ask me about real estate when you're walking around. If you're at the PTA, if you're at your school's, trunk or treat, talk to people. Let people know that you are a real estate agent.
Yeah, and especially if you have kids and your children are in school, I use I don't have a personal email. I have a business email, and I use my business email to just respond back to everybody in the school, like the chain. And when we go drop off Maddie or we're at an event, they have come up to me and said, oh, are you in real estate? And all I did was they just read my email.
Because your domain on your email signature.
That's right. My signature has my name. So that's a quick little tip, little nugget that you can use is just use your professional email when you're emailing family, friends, teachers, anybody. Just don't use your personal email because people will ask questions, and that's another great way.
We can give you all these tips, but what I was saying before is we can name all these, but that's not the point. The point is to go deep on each one of these. And if you don't have a brokerage that's training you on each one of these, well, you might want to consider another brokerage, okay? Because every single one of these items you could build out and you could build a business from. People can build a business from open houses. Yeah. You can have an open house every Saturday and every Sunday and meet 100 neighbors every time you do that.
Right.
You can meet 200 people a week.
Well, I don't know about 100 neighbors.
You can knock on 50 neighbors' doors, call another 50.
Okay.
You 100% can.
Yeah, I just didn't know. I don't think 100 neighbors it's unrealistic for 100 neighbors to come to your open house.
No. But I mean, you could use that open house as a way to talk and collect information from another 100.
And if you don't have open houses to sit, because I realize right now it's a tough market with little or no inventory, you could pick up the phone and you can leverage sales in the area from your brokerage if they allow you, right? We allow all our agents in our office to circle prospect. So if Michelle Pais gets a listing, everyone in my team, everyone in the brokerage is allowed to market that listing or reshare that listing on their social media or circle prospect or whatnot. Some brokerages do not allow it.
Yeah.
We allow it.
We allow it without having to asking the listing agent for permission.
So, if you want to circle prospect a neighborhood and there's a sale in the office, just call the neighbors and just let them know about the sale and that, there are leftover buyers. It's called circle prospecting. That's free. I mean, again, it goes back to just the outreach, the calls, the speaking to people. There's no better way.
We have an agent in our office, Dave Segro. He is a full-time teacher, okay? He gets out of school at 2:35 or whatever. He door knocks for 2 hours every single day. And the guy does 6 figures, right? I mean, he does 6 figures.
And he gets all his leads from
He makes more money as a realtor than he does as a teacher.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, he does.
Yeah, no, most of our agents who are teachers,
I know, but he's a full-time teacher.
Yeah, well, Pete Moriello was a full-time teacher, and then he was doing more, right? And then Melissa there were so many examples of full-time teachers who did this part-time and that ended up, doing so well that they ended up quitting their...
Well, Dave didn't quit because he loves his job as a teacher. And, you have all these benefits, health benefits, pension benefits.
It's fine. It's passion. Yes.
And he door knocks. It doesn't cost him any money to door knock. And he meets everybody in his, farm, in his farm area.
Yeah. Farm and area, and I recommend either the place where you live, is because you obviously, for obvious reasons, or a town that your brokerage is very well known in. Pick 500, 1,000 homes and consistently market to that area. Now, if you do not have any money to spend on direct mail or advertising, do what David Segro does. He knocks on doors. Hello, I'm Dave Segro, whatever he says, and he gets to meet neighbors. And then he probably does it again and again and again to the same people every month. Hey, again. They're probably tired of seeing his face, but when they're thinking of selling, they're going to be like, oh, let's call that guy, right? So pick a farm. It's important. And then build from that. Once you're established, instead of 500 homes, maybe you'll do 1,000, then 1,500. There was a point where I would send out 35,000. I had 35,000 people in my farm areas, and it was just an area of several towns, and I would just send it out every single month.
It's a big farm.
It's a very big farm. It's a numbers game, right? It's a numbers game. All you need is what? Couple.
Big farm.
Yeah. But you started off slow. I started off with 300 homes in Park Place, right? The condo complex. It was 300. It was a community, had 300 units. I ended up buying there. Why? Because not that I wanted to really live there. It's just because it's where I was working. It was where I was farming. I figured if I live there, I'm going to see the neighbors, right?
Right. You lived on the farm.
I lived on my farm. And it worked. I got all the listings. I made 6 figures just on, in my farm. And then I developed, once that farm was established and, I planted the seeds.
You should write a book called The 7-Figure Farm.
Jesus. I'm writing a book, but it's not called The Seven-Figure Farm. Nobody would want to read it, by the way. And then from that farm, I went to the town, and from the town, I picked another town. And so, you know.
All right, you expanded your farm.
Of course, you have to expand your footprint. Your footprint, not your farm. But it works because till this day, 20-something years later, I will get a call saying, hey, I want to sell my place. And maybe it was a place that I farmed 18 years ago that I no longer farm, but I did such a good job in farming, and these people have been there for 18 years, so they probably remember me from 18 years ago.
Well, you dropped the seeds, and now
that's right.
They're blooming.
They're blooming. Don't try to be all things to all people. That is a mistake that I made when I started out. I just wanted to, you know, sell as many homes as I can. I would use MapQuest. I would get lost. I was all over New Jersey, and I was just all over the place.
Well, I think I'm going to stop you.
Okay.
Because we train the new agents.
Are you cutting me off?
I am.
Okay.
Because that's not good advice for new agents. Okay. Good advice for new agents is go anywhere there is any business, because you don't have business right now. Don't be too uptight about your business, right? If you are farming, though, if you are marketing, if you're investing time, energy, and money, that's when you focus your effort on prospecting in a geographic area. But if somebody gives you a referral, like your broker or somebody an hour away, go. Even though that's not within your geographic location, go to it. It's an experience. It's a transaction. It's, you know, there's a lot of lifetime value in these customers that you serve even around. And we've had agents that'll, you know, take on rental listings, even though they're top producers. They'll take on a rental listing. Why? Because that turns into a sale.
Yeah, I agree with
You know?
you. And I think when I say don't be all things to all people, what I'm referring to is figure out who you are and what's your ideal client. And then when you are farming and when you're marketing to them, right? That's what I meant. In the beginning, of course, you're going to go everywhere. We all go everywhere in the beginning. We do, you know, wherever the business is, we'll go. But I'm talking about, okay, if you're brand new and you're getting a referral 2 hours away, you know, go to that referral. But when you're farming, you know, don't farm 2 hours away. Right. So,
and some people tend to do that. They're like, oh, I'm going to go down the shore and, you know, do all my marketing there. And they're like, well, where do you live? They're like, Jersey City. We're like, what are you doing? Why are you marketing in Monmouth County if you're living in Jersey City? Mm-hmm. Right? Unless you're planning on moving there in 6 months, then that makes sense.
Right.
But if you're not, then why are you going to drive all the way down there? That doesn't make sense. You could make money in Hudson County.
Yeah, and listen, real estate, it's a tough business. However, if you put yourself in the right room, there is opportunities. If you join a brokerage or a team that doesn't have the opportunities, you're going to set yourself up for failure. So just make sure that, you know, if you're brand new, you don't have much money to spend, you don't have a big database of people, you know, or you're someone like me that came from a different country that knew nobody. I came from Portugal, landed in Union, Springfield, New Jersey, and I didn't have...
Right on the farm, you landed.
Jerk off. The point I'm trying to make here, guys, is go with somebody that is credible, that has presence, that can help you achieve your goals, that has leads, that you can learn from. Power of proximity. Power of proximity. What are you writing down over there?
I'm just writing a note because I think this is really important. It's something that I share with people. You know, there's 3 types of agents, okay? And you have to decide which category of agent you are, okay? I know which category of agent you are. Oh, really? So there's 3 types of agents. There's agents that are going to succeed no matter what. No matter what brokerage they're at, they're going to succeed because they're going to get on the phone, they're going to door knock, they're going to cold call, they're going to ask for business, they're going to be aggressive. They're going to tell the universe and force the universe to have success. Their backs are up against the wall, they're aggressive, whatever. That's one type of agent. You might be that type of agent. That doesn't matter where you are, you're going to be successful. Mm-hmm. Okay?
I agree.
Then there's another type of agent that no matter where you are, you won't be successful because you're not putting in the work. It doesn't matter how much support there is. It doesn't matter how many resources there is. It doesn't matter how much training there is. It doesn't matter how much accountability there is. It doesn't matter at all. You're just not in the right frame of mind in your life or cut out for the business. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. Some people won't succeed no matter what. And then there's the third group of agent. That is the agent that will succeed with the right guidance, training, and resources. Right? And I think most agents believe it or not, fall into the third category. We have agents that come from other companies to Signature Realty. They've been there for a year. How many transactions have you done? I did one deal. Well, where'd you get that deal? Well, my aunt gave me this referral and, I closed the deal. Okay. Then they come to us and they start actually going through our accelerator program and they start prospecting. They start being held accountable. They start time blocking and they start doing all of the things in our prospecting challenge. And then all of a sudden they sell 8 transactions that year. And that's the agent that falls into that third category. That's the agent that has untapped potential and opportunity, and they just need a little bit of guidance, right? They have what it takes. They just need to know, what do I need to do? I don't know. I have the desire. I have the motivation. I have the time. I have the energy. I'm willing to invest it. Now, what is it exactly that I have to do, right? Because you really don't know what you don't know, right? And then there's the agents that no matter how much training you give them, they don't do anything. And then there's the agent that starts and they're just like, I'm going to do this no matter what. Failure is not even an option for me, right? So I challenge you to ask yourself, where are you? Are you in 1, 2, or 3? If you're in 2, then just, move on, right? Get a job, do another business, figure it out. It's not a big deal, right? It's just not for you. If you're number 1, you're good. You have to ask yourself if you're on the winning team. And then if you're number 3, make sure that you have those resources. Don't give up, right, on yourself. If that is you, if you're just like, I do have everything it takes to be successful. I'm just not being successful because I don't know how to do what I have to do. And I'm not set up to win. It's kind of like being a person that's like really has the potential to be really good at a sport, but you're just on the wrong team and you have the wrong coach. That's kind of a good analogy.
That's a great analogy.
And some people...
I like the agents. I never thought about A, B, or C. Which one are you guys? Are you A, are you B, or are you C?
Yeah, and for me, like, I've always said this, like, Michael Jordan, best basketball player in the world. Would he be a great coach? I don't know. LeBron James, great basketball player. Would he be a great coach? I don't know. And then you have coaches that are amazing coaches that never, played professional sport.
Or that an agent. And if you're relating it to real estate, you have great coaches and leaders and managers, but they've never sold a home in their life.
Right. Some of them haven't, but they are good coaches and they are good managers. And then you have top producing agents that are trying to coach and train other people.
Right.
And they can't, for the life of them, lead them to do what they need to do.
Right.
So it's not about how many transactions has somebody done if they're going to be your coach. That's not exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. Somebody could be really good at a sport, but really bad at coaching you. Mm-hmm. Somebody could be really good at real estate, but bad at coaching you. That's right. Ideally you have both.
Right.
Right. You have people like George Bellino. He's had up to 100-something listings at a time. There's a lot of stuff in here. And guys, look, at the end of the day, it's not just, what are all the free ways to get business, right? When you start making money, I always say this to all of our agents, you're a great example of somebody that's taken a portion of all the money that you've made, right, on every check, and you invest it back, because that will allow you to double and triple down on your transactions.
Best investment you can make is in yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. On your brand and your name and your leads.
But I got to tell you something. I'm going to give you credit for this. I was also that agent that, as much as I did invest a lot in myself and I started, saving money early on and putting money away, I was also very hesitant in, okay, I'm comfortable spending, this amount of money a month and it's not going to hurt me. But like now when you're talking about big numbers, I'm like, oh my God, like how much is that? And then I think with you were just like, just go for it, do it. And then once I started, really investing, that's when I saw big, huge returns.
Right. Because if you invest $50,000 and you get 3x return on ads, because listings, right, you get one listing, you can make $12,000, $15,000, maybe more, depending on the listing price.
Yeah.
Right? You can turn 100 into 300.
That's right. If you invest the right way.
course.
Nowadays, now I gotta
gotta be
say,
careful.
the strategies that I used back then, I don't know if I would recommend using them now, because we are in a very different market. We're in a market where there's a shortage of inventory. So if people aren't selling for whatever reason, interest rates are high. It's like all the marketing you can do to that person, it's not going to make them move, because the interest rates, it's what's holding them back.
Well,
so
I think
you
it's
just
the
have
first
to
thing that
be
you said. Right now, I think you double down on social media.
right.
You double down on getting your content out there, getting in front of more eyeballs, and then people reaching out to you via direct message on Instagram or LinkedIn or, some of the other social media platforms. I mean, that's what people should be doing. And you should time block, right? Just like we do. We take a day and we say, all right, we're going to shoot social media videos. This isn't the only video podcast that we're doing today, right? We're doing multiple, and we're also doing other videos as well. We already shot 2 or 3 other videos for marketing events and things like that. Time block at least one day a month to shoot a bunch of your videos and then go scheduling those out. You don't have to do it where it's an overwhelming experience every single day. Oh my God, I got to post and I got to do this. I got to create content, because then you're not doing any real estate.
Yeah, schedule them out. And that was by the way, when Facebook, Instagram wasn't a thing. It was MySpace when I started, right? MySpace, and then it was Facebook.
Damn.
And it was daunting. I'm like, I have to, I'm all these hours working in the business, and I got to do social media. I just I couldn't. So
well, you also look at the end of the day.
lot.
Some people are like, I have to do social media or else I'm gonna, whatever. You don't have to do anything. What you have to do is hit your goals. And if you can hit those goals with whatever way you're doing it, whether it's door knocking or cold calling or whatever you're the best at, then you do that. And you don't have to necessarily be on video. You could do things with photos and then written content. Different platforms, appeal to different, ways of delivering that message. Right? Gary Vaynerchuk always talks about that. Like, you're not good on video, fine. Maybe you're good with audio. So record yourself on audio and throw it over a couple pictures, and then
great idea.
You have the subtitles,
voiceover.
Yeah,
That's great. Great idea.
Or you have photos, and if you're really good at writing, then great. Then you write. There's nothing wrong with that. You could write on pictures. I see carousel ads with top 5 things to know about Westfield, New Jersey, right? And then they're talking about those things, and at no point is there a face there. But there's a call to action at the end. Hey, learn what your home is worth.
Right.
Do this.
Right.
So
all good stuff. Babe.
don't make excuses for not to do it. Just don't say, oh, I can't do it. Say, how can I do it?
That's right.
If you want to do it, right? If that's what you want to do. So thanks for watching, guys. Signature Sip podcast, another one in the can here. And if you guys want to,
in the can,
I don't know what I'm saying. In the books, that's what I meant. Not in the garbage can. Not in the garbage can in the farm. Another one in the books. We're really proud to be able to give you guys education and information. And if you guys have any comments or questions, feel free to like this video and comment below it, and follow us on YouTube and Spotify and Instagram. So we'll see you on the next one.